I sure hope that you can hear me. Okay, so let's read a book. Because why shouldn't we, right? So we are going to read the book Lilian Jackson Brown's The Author of the Cat Who Had 60 Whiskers, The Cat Who Dropped a Bombshell. We have Somzy here, who knows the sound of opening of a box of treats. Oh, what happened? Do you want another? Here you go. Good boy. Okay, so let's get this party started, right? We can have this emotional support mm, mouse. So, today we are reading Lillian Jackson Brown's The Cat Who Dropped a Bombshell. The book list says, as comforting as a warm cat in your lap on a rainy day. Oh, that sounds good. Let's take this out. It's taking too much space. And the Los Angeles Times says, wonder and whimsy. Ideal bedtime tales for grown-ups. The Associated Press says, most detectives do their legwork on two legs. A few, however, do it on four. Okay, that's nice. The People. I believe it's a magazine. It says it's a master of mystery. Okay, can you stay a little bit longer, so? Because I can't do this without you. Yeah, would you be willing to stay a little bit longer, please? I know you have other matters to attend to, but if you go, I'll be all alone, man. Can you please stay? Are you bored? You sure are? Here, play with this rock. Yeah, this rock. Do you want this rock? Here. No? Man. Here. I don't know if they can even see you. What are you looking at? You're looking at the souls? Okay. Um, okay, so let's continue. The book list says anyone who has ever exclaimed cats with a mixture of affection, frustration, and admiration is bound to fall or has already fallen for this venerable series. Okay, That's good. Okay, so then let's go ahead and start with the first chapter. April was lovely that year. No blizzards, no hailstones, no torrential rains with mudslides and power outages. Gentle nighttime showers irrigated the potato fields of Moose County and freshened the peony gardens of Pickaxe City, the county seat. It boded well for the sesquicentennial celebration of Pickaxe City, 400 miles north of Everyday. Plans were being made for parades, special events, and family reunions. Jim Quillen, columnist for the local newspaper who had spent the winter in a condo, yeah, it's good, was planning to move his household, two Siamese cats, back to his summer quarters in order to be closer to the action. One evening, he was lounging with his feet up, reading and eating apples, and the phone rang with that sound of urgency that sometimes happens. The anguished voice on the line was that of Ixie Rice, the promotion director of the newspaper and chairperson of the sequential committee. Quill, this is Hixie. Is it too late to come over for a minute? Too late for what? I've got a big problem. Come along. Refreshments? Not this time, thanks. Hixie Rice lived in a nearby condo, and Quillen had barely time to gather up bachelor clutter, newspapers, apple cores, and items of clothing. The woman who rang the bell was looking harried. He waved her to a sofa, and she flopped down, tossing her shoulder-length hair and kicking off her shoes. Do you mind? I'm exhausted. Are you sure you won't have a glass of skunk water, Hixie? You twisted my arm. At that moment, two Siamese cats walked into the conversational circle. Hello, you beautiful creatures, Hixie cried. They struck poses to show off their sleek, fawn-colored fur, their seal brown points, and blue eyes. She said, Coco has such a masterful, intelligent expression, and Yum Yum so sweet and appealing. Forgive me, Yum Yum, if I sound sexist. For answer, the lively female jumped into Hixie's lap as light as a feather, while the male cat sat tall like an Egyptian sculpture. That sounds like you, some. There was something therapeutic about Quillen's manner. He was a tall, well-built middle-aged man with hair graying at the temples and an oversized pepper and salt mustache. But the sympathetic look in his brooding eyes and his willingness to listen to problems attracted individuals looking for help. How's everything going downtown? He asked. In exasperation, she said, I've just had a frustrating 4 hour meeting with the PR committee assigned to find a name for the celebration, and we got nowhere. Quill said, try saying pickaxe sesquicentennial 3 times fast. Try saying it once. It's a horrible mouthful, and hardly anyone knows that it means a century and a half. We polled the man on the street. One joker thought it was sexy centennial. We've been working on the problem for weeks without any luck. The scruffy little town of Burr celebrated their bicentennial with a Burr 200 logo that was perfect for posters and t-shirts, and someone suggested Pickaxe 150 but we'd cancel the whole show rather than copy them. All we have in the town is a harbor, a soccer team, and a hotel booze. In Pickaxe, thanks to the K Fund, we have cultural, medical, and education facilities that she stopped for breath. And at that moment, Coco delivered an ear splitting meow. His bedtime snack was 20 minutes late. Okay, that's unforgivable. That's it, Hixie cried. That's the answer. The name of our celebration. Pickaxe now. Thank you, Coco. I'll see that you get full credit. Oh. Wait, okay. The cat has left the chat, but we'll keep on reading. No. Quillen protested. Just say that the answer came to you in a dream. The next day, the name of the forthcoming celebration was splashed across the front page of the Moose County something, with Hixie Rice crediting a member of a committee who wished to remain anonymous. Only to her friends did she admit that the name came to her in a dream. Quillen first heard the convenient myth from his next door neighbor. He and Weatherby Good, the PWPKX meteorologist, occupied adjoining condos in Indian Village, an upscale residential complex on the north edge of Pickaxe. Wait though, what's going on? Wanna go out? Can I go explore things? Okay. Hey Quill, how'd you like the news? They found a name for the celebration, and it's a terrific one. It's going to fire up local enthusiasm. Folks have been dragging their feet over the sequential thing. And do you know what? Pickaxe now came to Hixie in a dream, although she's hushing it up. Is that so? Quirin remarked. Yeah, she's one terrific gal. Well, I've got to go to the station and see if piano's in tune. So long. Weatherby, real name Joe Bunker, entertained his weather listeners by singing Stormy Weather or Sunshine of Your Smile or Blue Skies. There had been a reason why Pickaxe could not or would not emulate the clever slogan of Burr's anniversary. It was a matter of pride, trivial though it might seem to outsiders. Pickaxe was bigger, but Burr was older. The antagonism was felt even at soccer games, after which fans always rioted, that is, until the sheriff started attending with his dog. It all started circa 1850 when the first settlers arrived in sailing ships and made camp on the shore of a natural harbor. They called it Burr, a good Scottish name. When a sign painter made a mistake on an official sign, spelling it Burr, since it was the coldest spot in the area, the residents with good pioneer humor decided to keep it. 50 years later, when the territory became a county, the town of Burr expected to be in the seat of government, but the founding fathers were obliged to look ahead and choose a central location for the county seat. Here comes the romantic part. The government souvenirs, the government surveyors assigned to choose a site happened upon a rusty pickaxe wedged in a tree stump at a point where two trails crossed. and that is how the county seat became known as Pickaxe City. The historic artifact that inspired the name was now exhibited in the city council chamber, but that was way back then. There were great accomplishments to celebrate in Pickaxe now. Quirin also heard the handy myth from Polly Duncan, the chief woman in his life. She lived in a condo 3 doors away, but they ended each day with an 11 p.m. tea at tea by phone. She had recently exchanged a career as director of the public library for a new challenge as manager of a bookstore. Both jobs made one privy to the latest rumors, and Polly always passed them on to Quillen. He himself was not prone to gossip, but he had no compunctions about listening, especially if a scuttlebutt came from an impeccable source such as Polly. On this phone chat, she said, everyone's delighted with the name of the celebration. It was said to be the result of a committee brainstorm, but there is a rumor that it came to Hixie Rice in a dream, and I tend to believe it. How about you, Quill? Assertively, he replied, the important thing is what, not how. The name puts an auspicious light on the celebration. You're so right, dear. What do you think I should wear to the Mildred's dinner on Sunday? If the weather continues nice, she might serve on the deck. If she does, or if she doesn't, I'd like to see you in your new blue pantsuit. Blue enhances the freshness of her complexion, the sparkle in her eyes, and the silvery glints in her well coifed hair, which may or may not be attributed to a belief in broccoli, leafy green salads, and a banana a day. Eat your broccoli, she would remind Quirin when they dined out. Are you taking anything to the party, Quill? A bottle of something. Pick you up at one. I'll be ready. Come in and say hello to Brutus and Cata. Good night, dear. Quirin was grateful that Polly had survived the stress of a major job transition and was her amiable self again. The four neighbors who met to have Sunday dinner were comfortable friends. The hosts were Arch and Mildred Riker. He was editor in chief of the Moose County Something. She was the food editor of the paper. The two men had been chums since kindergarten in Chicago. Their rapport was casual to say the least. Excuse me. Luca. Hey, you. What? Where did you go? Did you close the door? Yeah, it's gonna be the face. Oh, okay, can you stay for a while? Please? Me? Yeah, can you do that, son? You can sleep here, right? The four neighbors who met to have Sunday dinner were comfortable friends. The hosts were Arch and Mildred Riker. He was editor in the chief of the Moose County something. She was food editor of the paper. The two men had been chums since kindergarten in Chicago. Their rapport was casual to say the least. The weather was pleasant and they had cocktails on the deck, sherry for women. Oh, come on, son. Good, good, good. Skunk water with cranberry juice was grilled, a martini for Arch. Polly raised a glass in a toast. Here's to the beautiful people. Don't forget Arch. Don't forget Arch, said his old friend. Huffing testily, Arch said, we got a great story. I heard from one of your devoted readers complaining about your repeated use of the C word in your column. He's threatening to cancel his subscription. Let him cancel. I know him. He's a cat hater. There are 12 million cats in Moose County. Okay? And I happen to live with two who are smarter than him. Oh, that is good. That is a good. That is a good thing. Mr. Chicken. Apples. Oh, so still some. Children को सा kitty can go sa. What else does it? Ah, ah. Stay song. This is all about you. Yeah. Okay. If you behave like a good boy, give you some or some other. On. Okay. Okay. Think they can hear us? I don't think they can hear us. Hey, Honored Bot, can you hear? Oh, okay. Anyhow, Mildred said, maybe you should set him straight, Bill. Write him a strong letter. You're good at that. Thanks for the word of confidence, Mildred, but it's unsportsmanlike, unsportsmanlike to engage in a battle of wits with anyone who is obviously unarmed. Excuse me. Okay, there goes that. Okay, let's have this instead. Bravo, said Polly. I hear we are going to have an heirloom auction as part of Pickaxe now. Mildred squirreled with excitement. And an arts and crafts show and three parades. It's going to be so thrilling. Polly concurred, and Hicks's name for the celebration is brilliant. The committee had been pounding around for months, and the name suddenly came to her in a dream. That can happen, Curran said quietly. suppressing a chuckle. The way it's shaping up, I can expect a deluge of ideas for the krill pen column, and I won't have to go through trash barrels. Arch jumped in. How about writing the three a week instead of the usual lazy two? Only if I get a 50% raise. The joke was, of course, that Quirin was the richest individual in the northeast central United States. His freak inheritance of the vast Clinton Shrum fortune based in Moose County had brought him to the North County, and his distinct disinterest in money had caused him to turn it over to a philanthropic foundation. The K Fund, as it was charmingly called around town, had been responsible for most, if not all, of the improvements being celebrated during Pickett's nap. Polly said, the problem will be to focus on the stimulating present without neglecting the nobility of the past. That said, they had nodded thoughtfully and went indoors for one of Mildred's delicious dinners. She was, after all, the food editor of the Moose County something. Mildred served watercress consomme, hot roast with an exotic sauce, and small potatoes steamed in their skins. Polly said, there's nothing to equal the flavor of Moose County potatoes. We all know why, said Arch. A potato farmer was using them to make hard liquor during Prohibition, and the revenue agents caught him and poured it all on the ground. Pass the potatoes, Milly, she said. Do you know why we have so many potato growers in Moose County? They came from Ireland during the Great Potato Famine in the 19th century. There's a blight on the crop, and a million Irish died of starvation, disease, or drowning when they tried to escape in leaky boats owned by unscrupulous profiteers. Sorry, once a school teacher was always a school teacher. The other three talked at once, protesting that it was all very informative. And how is cool Coco? Mildred asked. He has a new hobby. After a lifetime of making carbon copies, I finally broke down and bought a photocopier, a desktop model. Coco is fascinated. He stares at it for hours, waiting for it to light up or play music. If nothing happens, he extends a cautious paw and presses a button. Coco is so smart. Mildred gushed. Oh, crazy, Quirin said. Mildred said, I hear there'll be several family reunions during the summer, and I thought I might run a series of features on the food preferences of each group with recipes. She looked at Quirin speculatively. Would the K Fund be interested in publishing a cookbook? Absolutely, and I'll volunteer as official taster. Polly reported that one of the staffers at the bookstore, a volunteer at the Humane Society, had proposed an auction of homeless cats rescued by the shelter. Mildred clapped her hands in approval and said, wouldn't Quirrell make a wonderful auctioneer? Wipe that idea from your mind right here and now, he growled. But the two women exchanged nods and smiles, and Arch said with obvious glee, something tells me we haven't heard the last of this matter. How's everything at the pirate's chest? He asked Polly. Just fine. We have a number of book collectors in Pickaxe, and they think the name of the store alludes to shelves full of treasures. How nice, Mildred said. And how is the bibliocat doing? Polly said, many customers have never seen a marmalade before, and they swoon over his apricot and cream markings and emerald green eyes. This little cat charms everyone. But one day he hissed at a woman customer and bared his fangs. She was wearing too much cologne. She left in a huff without buying anything, and we had to turn on the ventilating system. How is Judd Amherst doing as a special events manager, Polly? Mildred asked. He may be a retired engineer from the Moose County Power Company, but what most people don't know is he's been a lifelong bookworm with an extensive library of his own, and his storytelling hour for young children is a big success. I think they like the grandfatherly look of his white hair. Mildred said, I know he's retired, but he seems too young to have such white hair. Polly knew the answer. He turned white overnight following a horrendous experience on the job. He was captain of a crew of linemen walking in the woods looking for downed power lines during a major blackout. He narrowly escaped being killed by a falling tree. I think he took early retirement. Arch said, these power outages always occur after heavy rain. The ground is soaked. The shallow rooted trees topple over like bowling pins. I wouldn't want a linesman job. Polly said he could write a book about his experiences, except that he's no writer. Quill could ghostwrite it, Mildred said. The other three looked at Quillen and he huffed into his mustache. Mildred continued with a bubbling optimism. I'm glad to say that Weatherby Good was has promised unusually good weather for our picnics and parades. The two veteran newsmen exchanged cynical glances. After more conversation, the amiable party broke up early. Arch asked Quirin, what's in your Tuesday column? Anything fit to print? Quirin said, I don't give insider information. You'll have to wait and buy a paper. End of chapter 1 of the book The Cat Who Dropped a Bombshell by Lilian Jackson Brown. Thank you for watching, I guess. Um, See you later.